Oh my gosh, who's speeding? I literally changed my battery, ran into this room to try to catch the natural light before it went away. But the good news is that it's really, really pretty. Also, Daylight by Taylor Swift started playing too, and it was just a lot. It was just a lot because we're all the same person. I know that you guys know what I'm talking about. When I say that, I just had to do it. For some ungodly reason, Dress by Taylor Swift started playing. And Dress by Taylor Swift, it's like one of the first songs on my like soulmate playlist. I was like, no, now I have to make this video. These are all the books that truly make me believe in soulmates. So the first book that I want to talk about, okay, these are like books, but I'm mainly gonna be talking about like the characters, you know? We all know it's all about the characters. So the first two characters that I was like, they're literally soulmates. Zofia and Enrique from the Gilded Wolves series. If you guys are vintage on my channel, then you've seen me like read this book series. It's a trilogy. The literal entire reason that I was reading this entire series, all 3 books, book journals, every single one, every single annotation, was all just every single scene and interaction between these two characters. They're so compatible in a way that I've literally never read in a book ever. They're just like the small things, you know what I mean? Not only that, they're literally 2 of like, in my opinion, the best characters. Sorry, this framing is kind of bad, I just realized. Oh well. They are also just 2 of my favorite characters in general, individually, in this entire friend group. Because there's a lot of them, and we follow all their point of views. They're like best friends, like they're literally the song. They're literally dressed. I don't want you like a best friend. Like they give the best like friends to lovers you'll ever see. Flashback when you met me. Even in my worst times, you saw the best in me. You saw the truth in me. Like, stop. Every single thing that they're insecure about with like every other person in the friend group is like the other person's favorite thing about that person. If that makes sense. Just imagine like all of your insecurities, it's like actually someone's favorite thing about you. Like that is literally this couple. Zofia knew that others found Enrique long-winded, but she liked listening to him. Enrique saw the world differently, and sometimes when he taught her something new, it was as if the world had changed ever so slightly. Stop. Enrique is like the historian. He loves history and will like just drone on and on. Everyone else in the friend group is like, oh my gosh, will just like zone out, even though he's like so passionate and loves talking about history, which by the way, I know that everyone's lying when they say that that is not the most attractive thing ever. Anyway, and like little things, like there's something that's planted in like book 1 that Zofia loves sugar cookies, and then it's like literally resolved in like maybe book 2 or book 3 where like they're like on an outing together and he like just disappears out of nowhere and she's like, what, where is he? And then he comes back, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and then he has a paper bag and it's full of sugar cookies. They don't even know that they're like falling in love with each other. Everybody can see it except for them. I love that trope. They're just so compatible and they don't even know. They have no idea. Every like little detail that like would go unnoticed by everyone is exactly the things that work so perfectly between them. So for example, she also liked how the light played across his skin and seemed somehow to get caught in his dark eyes. She liked how the panic in her chest eased when he was near. They just get along so well. You know when 2 people are just compatible? That is literally just what they are. Okay, I'm gonna stop going off about that, but it's a good book series too in general, but I will be the first person to admit that they were probably the entire reason. And there's many couples in this book. They are literally the entire reason that I read this entire trilogy. I caught the vibes from the beginning of this book series. I was reading it and I was like, my spidey senses tingle. I can sniff it out. I can sniff out just the good slow burn. Okay, so before we continue, I want to take a quick second to thank the sponsor of this video, which is so exciting. Thank you to Atlas VPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, which I didn't know about. Basically, it protects you from like malware and spying and dangers with connecting to Wi-Fi, hides your IP address and all of your activity and stuff, just to make sure to protect your privacy and none of your data leaks out anywhere, which is super, super important. But if you're anything like me, the most important part of VPN is so that you can stream different TV shows and movies that are only available in other countries. Places like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus all have exclusive content that are specific to whatever country you're in. But if you connect to a VPN, that means that you can have access to hundreds and hundreds of different shows that you would not normally have access to. All you need to do is get Atlas VPN, open the app, turn the VPN on, and connect to a server for whatever country you want to get access to their shows to. So for me, it's always to the American Netflix because I live in Canada. So such a lifesaver, such a game changer. If you guys know the struggles of having Netflix take off your favorite TV show, but it's available in literally your next door neighbor country, but you can't access it because it's only for that country, Atlas VPN has you. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. You can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So make sure that you grab that deal. Everything will be linked in my description as well. But just again, 3-year subscription for Atlas VPN for just $1.99 per per month. Thank you 𝐬𝐭 for sponsoring. And let's get back to the video. Okay, the next book is actually the book that inspired this video. I'm so sad I don't have my book journal with me, but I'm going to try to find the quotes that I want to find because this book has so many good quotes. One of my favorite authors of all time, Frederick Bachman, he has a book called A Man Called 𝐬𝐻𝐽. Again, with the compatibility, like it's about a man called 𝐬𝐻𝐽. In the present timeline, we see him as like this elderly man who's like the Scrooge of the entire neighborhood, and you see his life. It's like a slow reveal about everything that happened that made him the way that he is. And obviously, one of the main things is the great love of his life, which was his wife. Was her name also Sophia? Hold on a second. Oh, her name was Sonia. You get flashbacks to when he was a child and then when he became a young man and like the meet cute with his wife. The way that it's written is genuinely, not even genuinely, it's just so magical to read about. There's such a good quote about compatibility. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If not, I'm gonna go home and I'm going to find it because you guys need to hear it. It is so beautiful. To love someone is like moving into a house. At first you fall in love with everything new, but as the years go by, the facade worn, the wood cracks here and there, and you start to love this house not so much for all the ways it is perfect, but for all the ways that it's not. You become familiar with all its nooks and crannies, which floorboards have some give when you step on them, and how to exactly open the doors for them to not creak. That's it. All the little secrets that make it your home. Oh my god. Everything just hits you. Freddie knew exactly what he was doing. Guys, their meet cute is literally the cutest meet cute I've ever seen ever. And then you see him falling in love with this woman against his will. Like, he doesn't even know what's happening, doesn't know why he's doing the things that he's doing, but just knows that he wants to do them. And it's like so pure and wholesome, and it's so unexpected, and it's so beautiful. They basically meet at a train station and he's like going the opposite direction, but like he sees this woman and something happens. Even he is like, I don't know why I even did this, but he went onto the train and pretended that he was going in that direction. He was actually going the opposite direction that he was supposed to go in, so far in the opposite direction, just so he could sit there and talk to this woman. She just smiled, said that she loved books more than anything, and started telling him excitedly what each of the ones in her lap was about. And 𝐬𝐻𝐽 realized that he wanted to hear her talking about the things she loved for the rest of his life. Bye. About to go cry in a corner. 𝐬𝐻𝐽 had never been asked how he lived before he met her, but if anyone had asked him, he would have answered that he didn't. Look me in the eyes and tell me that after hearing these quotes that you don't believe in soulmates. I literally have a photo on my photo wall back in my house from Pinterest, and it says, "Two souls never meet by simple accident," or something like that, and it just reminds me so much of it. He was a man of black and white, and she was color. All the color he had. He had never heard anything quite as amazing as that voice. She talked as if she was continuously on the verge of breaking into giggles, and when she giggled, she sounded the way 𝐬𝐻𝐽 imagined champagne bubbles would have sounded if they were capable of laughter. Literally a masterpiece. I don't know what else to say. By the way, everybody, oh my gosh, we're losing daylight. Anyway, only see daylight. I don't know, it's just, I need it. Okay, I'm gonna find the quote about compatibility. I promise, like, if I don't find anything else, I'm literally gonna find that. Maybe to her, destiny was something, but to him, destiny was someone. Okay, anyway, I could literally read so many quotes from this book. It is literally just a beautifully written book as it is. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. The next, like, soulmate-y things. I feel like all of these couples in this book series are soulmates. Can't talk about soulmates without talking about what? The Addicted / Callaway Sister series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Obviously, everybody knows that I love Daisy and Reich. I feel like everybody knows that. Spend 2 seconds on my channel, you'll figure that out. Obviously, I think they're great, beautiful, perfect soulmates. But for this video, I genuinely thought more of like Rose and Connor. Have you ever had that feeling of like, oh, so there's 2 of you? I didn't think that was possible. I have literally had that feeling in real life before, actually, because Rose and Connor are both the most, they're such distinct characters, like their personalities, like individually one of a kind, but then you see them both together and you're like, oh, so you're not one of a kind. You're 2 of a kind. I didn't think 2 of you could exist. That is exactly the vibes that Rose and Connor give, because they're both like crazy, stupid, too smart for their own good. That's how they actually first knew each other, because they were academic rivals. Obviously, they were academic rivals because they were the only ones who could even rival each other. Like, even just one of them by themselves is such an anomaly, but the fact that there are actually 2 of them, and the fact that they met and were rivals and then ended up being together, and not only that, but you dig a little deeper and you figure out that they really do compensate for each other. I think Rose, on the outside, she presents very sure of herself, girl boss, I get what I get, and she presents that way, but just from looking at her, you wouldn't realize that she is actually very unsure of herself, because it's kind of a secret that she keeps, and she just has a lot of self-doubt, can get too inside of her head and start overthinking things a lot, but obviously no one else would know that. Oh my gosh, I almost dropped my phone. Except for Connor, he's the only one who can like see right through. He like helps her out and compensates, and it's just so sweet. It's like all behind closed doors, obviously. No one else would know this about them. And then on the other hand, Rose is the only one who can like put Connor in his place, as she should, because in the end, all the guys in the core 6 are what? That's right, just disgusting men. Just absolutely soulmates. Let me see if I can find some good quotes. wonder how much the lighting has like visibly changed. Let me see. In nearly 10 years of knowing Connor, we always seemed to return to each other, even when we were thousands of miles apart on two separate planes of existence, even when it seemed like our futures had strayed. He may not believe in fate, but I do, and I know I'm fated to be with him. Okay. You're not a pit stop, you're my finish line. There's no one after you. I want you for eternity, not for a brief moment in time. That quote I do remember because it was a reset. Okay, like I said, this is not gonna be a very lengthy book rec video, but I promise that they deliver in quality. Okay, and then the last two, I'm gonna try to be brief about it because they're two of like my all-time nostalgic favorite book reads. So I talk about them all the time. I feel like my sister gives me a hard time because like, oh, you just keep recommending the same books. It's not my fault that they're literally the best books. I'm just never gonna stop talking about them. So the first one, the Chaos Walking series by Patrick Ness. There's just so much going on in this book series that I can't possibly begin to try to explain all of it, but we follow two main characters, Todd and Viola. Physical quest trope, have no idea who each other are. She does not even speak a word until like a good way into the first book, and they're like on the run together. It's like that trope. I love that trope, by the way. From where they begin, I literally just can't even explain it. Undescribable. Indescribable. They just grow such a special bond with each other, and by the end of book one, they are literally the only other person in the world that they care about. They're each other's first priority. Literally book two starts out him in like a jail cell interrogation scene. Right when he even wakes up and has consciousness, his first thought is like, Viola, where is Viola? And the antagonist of the novel is like, first thought is about that girl. Interesting. They're kind of like each other's weak points. So that is, spoiler alert, how a lot of the antagonist gets what he wants, because yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's a good series overall, so I'll recommend it anyway. But let's gatekeep it also. I regularly reread this series, but I haven't in a long time. My book journal for this book series is so fat because, oh my gosh, I just annotated so much. The antagonist, like, everyone knows you aren't a killer, Todd. And that's his whole thing. He isn't a killer. Pushes Viola forward again. She calls out from the pain of it. I grit my teeth and raise the rifle. I cock it and I say what's true. I would kill to save her, I say. Soulmates. When I say the deepest love and care for each other, wow. Wow. Okay, the last book. We all can see where this has landed us. It always comes back to this couple. Obviously, I'm talking about 𝐬𝐻𝐸. They have had my heart since middle school. Ooh, their love is something else. Let me say that. It's from the Infernal Devices series. Again, another trilogy. Their meet cute is with him breaking her out of where she's in prison. Iconic meet cute. I'm sorry, I literally can't even talk about this without like acting up. Oh my gosh. The banter that they have with each other when they first met. They don't even know each other. They're literally just made for each other. Oh my gosh, it gives me like their dynamic and stuff. It reminds me of Rory and Jess from Gilmore Girls. Yes, I'm a Jess girly through and through, by the way. There is one right answer, and it's Jess. I've literally, this entire trip to Toronto, all I've been doing is watching Gilmore Girls while I eat breakfast every single morning. Can't miss it. The way that the two of them love books so much and like banter about books and talk about books and quote books and like just everything like that. Like, it is so Will and Tessa. They only like have found that in each other, you know what I mean? Someone who can like challenge them intellectually. Fun, will keep you on your toes. Someone who can give you a hard time. I just love reading Will's point of view. It's like definitely he falls harder. Oh my gosh, and when they have a slow dance ball scene. Strangely, what pierced his heart and mind most sharply was not the memory of her lips under his at the ball, but the way she had leaned into him tonight. Her head on his shoulder, her breath soft against his neck as if she trusted him utterly. He would have given everything he had in the world and everything he would ever have just to lie beside her in the narrow infirmary bed and hold her while she slept. Obviously, he says none of this to her. And just the iconic, I am catastrophically in love with you. Oh my gosh, I literally have a whole playlist on my phone about Will Herondale, which I feel like I've dropped that in other videos and people keep asking me to like drop my playlist. I'm gonna give a playlist tour video someday. I'm so sorry, I've just been waiting. But yes, I do have one, and it's literally Will Herondale's entire character development, but like slash his entire love story with Tessa. Honestly, one of my most used playlists because I will just put it on. Marry me, he said. Marry me and be Tessa Herondale, or be Tessa Gray, or be whatever you wish to call yourself, but marry me and stay with me and never leave me, for I cannot bear another day of my life to go by that does not have you in it. Oh my gosh, it's time to be real. Oh my gosh, the sun went down. It's literally just me in the dark reading quotes on my phone of book. Never seen a more sunny moment than doing that. I know how you are with your words, and Will, I love all of them. Every word you say. The silly ones, the mad ones, the beautiful ones, and the ones that are only for me. I love them, and I love you. Okay, anyway, I could literally go on forever, but we obviously don't have the time or the light because sky reveal. Oh, it actually looks lighter on camera. I think that this is where we're gonna end the video. Thank you for watching this spontaneous, hello, there you go, disorganized video of me just talking about soulmates. If you have the patience to like literally listen to me ramble about this until the end of this video, I am literally in love with you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. Follow me on my socials, all of that stuff. See you in the next one. You can blame Taylor Swift for this video, by the way. Anyways, time to be real. Bye!